This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are back to our arc that we had started this year off with. We spent the last two episodes doing a very special 100th and 101st episode celebration with Scooby-Doo. But hopefully you missed our 15-foot great white shark shenanigans that we've had.
Shenanigans.
Hero with Jabberjaw. We're back for 3 more episodes with this, interesting show, a recently reviewed show by one Austin Bird, who described Jabberjaw as avant-garde.
Abstract.
Oh, abstract, sorry.
Yes.
Stephanie Bird said our show was avant-garde. The Bird family really
we're some artsy folk.
Is highbrow.
We are. We go to the Louvre every weekend and travel to Broadway plays just whenever we feel like it. And yes.
This makes sense. Yeah. So yes, abstract. Sorry, Austin.
Abstract, yes.
Misremember the review of this show.
Maybe it's possible he wanted to say avant-garde, but he thought that was maybe a little too avant-garde to use.
He thought it was too redundant. It had already been done by Stephanie.
Right. He's always looking for the next new thing.
Exactly. Wow. And it's
which is Jabberjaw.
Alexis Bird's week, the final Bird's week to continue our arc. So I'm just gonna pass it to you to get abstract with it,
Yeah. And it is an abstract episode. I dived in here, I dove in, and I broke it down, the dramatic structure of this episode. It's a 3-act episode we're going to get through here. No, but really this episode is just as ridiculous as the rest of them.
I thought you were actually being serious, that you actually wrote your script of this review in a 3-act arc, and it just happened to be perfect timing that we talked about it like this.
To be fair, I did write it in a 5-part dramatic structure. I'm not actually joking. I'm dead ass serious. I was like, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, 5, and then gave them each their own little title.
Amazing. Well, tell us the title every time. It'll be every Wes Anderson film that pops up the
flaps it on the screen. Yeah. We're going to have random exposition shots and stuff. Very bright colors, pastels. It's coming upon spring.
It's going to be abstract. We're not really going to know the plot.
Honestly, that's why I had to do it in a 5-part thing. I realized because these episodes are so confusing that my scripts were so long. And I was I need to break this down. I need to
honestly smart.
Chop it up because it's a lot. And my script is so long, so bear with me. But it's 100 words shorter than usual. So part 1 of this episode of Jabberjaw. Season 1, episode 15, the Piranha Plot.
Okay.
This is where it all begins, is how I have titled part 1. The gang is on their way to yet another gig. This one in a lovely country called Amster-Aqua, aka Amsterdam.
Okay.
As per usual, the gang, they're short on cash and they are angry at one another. And this gig is their last resort to make some money and hopefully, in this farewell tour on a high note. It is the second to last episode of the series, so they are really at their wits' end here. Biff, who is the booker for them, has also got them tickets and booked their passage to Amster-Aqua by way of an oil tanker, which of course
they took it from Petrol Aqua. Right there.
Exactly. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. I hope that was episode 14. How amazing would it be if that was the episode before this? It's no, literally, they just left the oil country.
But
We
what
do.
if the actual episodes were actually all connected geographically in this made up world and we just never realized it?
We never saw it. See, the one time I don't have my insane like Charlie Day style map over here of like
Because it would be too, everything else would be too insane on it.
it would. We have those maps just for like the characters themselves, let
Yeah.
alone like tying the whole series together. No, no,
Underwater
no.
world,
My
no.
brain already hurts trying to do it. So yes, they're on this oil tanker, which of course has cheap seats, cheap tickets, and Shelley primarily is not happy about it. She's like, I
Mhm.
can't believe we're on this gross oil tanker, which yeah, Shelley, okay. I agree. It is kind of ridiculous that they're riding
Yeah, you
fucking
right.
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. And also they're talking about how, they're so excited. Biff is saying he's so excited for this next gig in Amster Aqua. And look, this gang, they're so like out of
Hate each
sync with one
other.
another. Yes, because Clamhead is like, Amster Aqua, I thought we were going to Hawaii. And Biff is like, no, no, no. That gig fell through, aka he fucked something up, and that, or it was like a sham the whole time. He got frauded, like Biff got defrauded. They probably thought they were gonna do like the festival circuit in Hawaii, and it ended up being like Fire Festival or
The
something.
fire festival.
Yeah. They're like, oh shit, that fell through. The dude's getting sued right now. It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
We're going to
don't worry
Amster
about it.
Aqua instead. But like all of them are wearing like Hawaiian gear, or at least like Jabber and Clamhead are, I think. Like they're the grass skirts, the like
Oh my
leis and
God.
everything. And they're like, oh, I was really excited to go there. I thought we were gonna go there. This sucks now. Like again, they're all out of sync. Biff is bad at communicating both their gigs and their travel plans.
Yeah, it's not going great.
It's a mess. It's a mess. And then everything begins to get even worse because as the gang is bickering and fighting, they look up and they see a monster of a ship, a massive ship approaching the oil tanker. And this thing, it's like 2 times bigger than the tanker. And the only way that I can really describe it is like a massive cruise ship looking thing with like 2 little sails or antennas on the back of it that make it look like fins. So it actually from far away looks like a fish.
Oh,
But
okay.
like in the shape of like an underwater cruise ship.
All right, I'll take it.
So, but it's massive and it's got this this door at the bow of it or at the front of it that opens up into the cargo load of the ship, but the door is shaped like razor sharp teeth.
Oh. Also, how hard was it for you to say bow in front of ship instead of back of
It was
ship?
very hard when I was typing it. When I was typing it, I was like, "This is stern, the hell, which one?" I'm always confused. We're turned around. Anyway, yes. So this thing, it has like razor sharp teeth on the doors to make it look not like just any fish, but like a piranha.
I forgot
the monster ship
in the episode.
In the monster ship is being captained by none other than a supervillain named the Piranha.
He's friends with Commander Shark for sure.
Yes, 100,000%. 100,000%. Because we're going to describe this guy in a minute and how much Commander Shark walked so that the piranha could run. Okay, or could
this ship
swim.
sounds way better. Yeah, it could swim.
But before we describe the piranha, the baddie of this week's episode, let's, for just a brief moment here, real quick, talk about piranha, real world piranha, actual piranha, and distinguish our baddie from the real deal.
Yes.
And so, disclaimer, all of the info here is obviously pulled from Wikipedia and brief recollections that I have from an episode of Tooth and Claw where they talk about, I love that podcast. Thank you for introducing it to me.
I was going to ask if you listened to the piranha episode.
I did, and that's partially why I wanted to do this episode, because that's one of my favorite ones. Like they just gave so much good information. That and like their bat episode which again, then I turned around and did a bat episode as well for Thornberry. So practically this is just a Tooth and Claw fan account at this point.
Truly.
So yes, piranha, let's talk about them. A piranha fish, it's a variety of fish, all of a certain like family and species. So there's not just like one type of piranha, but mostly they inhabit South American rivers, floodplains, lakes, and reservoirs. And although they are predatory and they do have a very violent and bloody reputation of feeding on fish and fresh meat, their diet actually varies. And they often also eat plant materials. So they are technically omnivorous or omnivorous, however the fuck you pronounce that science word. But of course, they are still very violent and dangerous. They did get that reputation somewhat for a good reason. More on that in a minute. But they do have also one of the strongest bites found in any bony fish. And they also have very, or I should say, this is due to them having very large jaw muscles and finely serrated teeth. So, like little razor teeth that they've got. And so, depending on the species of piranha, they're very tiny, but they can range anywhere from 5 inches to 14 inches long. Although there is one species that has apparently grown up to 20 inches. So, I mean, at its absolute largest, a piranha will be maybe still a little bit less than 2 feet, which actually 2 feet, that's pretty long.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
But like 5 inches, not too big, but those goddamn razor sharp teeth, it doesn't matter how big they are with their jaw strength, they bite a lot harder than you would think given their size. But in general, piranhas typically do not attack humans. And when they do, it often only results in minor injuries to like the feet or the hands, the parts of your body that are like splashing around in the water. But there have been a lot of serious and even fatal attacks from piranha in the past. So again, it's like trying to weigh the good and the bad here. Are they as dangerous as everyone thinks they are? Not really, but yes, they still have killed people in the past. So don't
they
mess
need to
around
keep
with
their
them.
reputation up.
They do.
They're at least like a little. Yeah.
It's like, look, we won't kill anyone this year, but like we're gonna attack this group of 20 swimmers and just like
we gotta
let
like
them know
name
what's
a couple
up.
people.
Exactly. They do have a reputation to withhold, but contrary to popular belief and to that reputation, blood particularly does not actually attract piranha like people sometimes think it does. Like, yeah, you throw bloody meat in the water and they'll come get it. Not necessarily. Instead, they tend to attack when there's either food scarcity and like they're in dense schools or there's like overcrowding. When there are low water levels and they start to panic and get a little anxiety, or when someone is like fiercely splashing around them and swimming. So for example, if you see like I don't know if you can really see them coming towards you because they swim underwater, but if for some reason you see something coming towards you in the water and you start splashing to like get it away, a piranha is more likely to attack you then than if you're just literally standing in the water and like looking around, because the splashing makes them anxious, makes them want to attack. I guess it's probably more like a defensive mechanism for them than anything. Yeah. And finally, my last fun fact about piranha, real world piranha, and I think maybe one of the most interesting facts, is where this bad reputation came from in the first place. Yes. Just like everything else bad in this world, it came from a United States president and the result of propaganda that they pushed.
Against the piranha?
Yes. Specifically, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, the great adventurer. Exactly. As many knew him, this dude was always out on expeditions, westward expansion, et cetera, et cetera. When he visited Brazil in 1930 for an expedition through the Amazon rainforest, he was trekking along the banks of the river, the Amazon River, and he witnessed a cow being torn apart and skeletonized by a school of hungry piranha. And he went on to describe this viciousness and this attack in his 1914 book, Through the Brazilian Wilderness. But here's the thing about what he saw. This whole spectacle, it was just that, a spectacle. The farmers in that area of the Amazon rainforest had blocked off, knowing that Theodore Roosevelt was coming to town or coming to do an expedition through the area. They blocked off part of the river where he was going to be days before and starved the piranha in the river, in that portion of the river, for several days before they pushed the cow into the water just as Theodore Roosevelt was coming by. And that cow was then obviously quickly devoured by the school of fish. because like I said before, one of the times that piranha are going to attack is when there's overcrowding and food scarcity, and they had both of those in this situation.
So the
So
piranha
this
made a
wasn't
PR
some
stunt for their
yeah,
reputation.
they did. Exactly. This is where it all began. They were in on it. They knew. They're like, people aren't going to fuck with us anymore. But yes, so this wasn't some random day in the life of a piranha in the Amazon. This was actually like animal cruelty and exotic propaganda, essentially, aka piranha PR. And we're going to
They
talk
were like, let
about
him
it
know.
now. Let him know. Let Theodore know. I want
They're
him to
paying
know it was me.
the piranhas paid off the farmers. They're like,
Yes,
no, this is how you build the
exactly.
dam. Like, hold me back, hold me back. Just in a couple more days, we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
We're gonna get him. I promise you. We won't eat any of your bait anymore. I promise. This is like
Yeah.
mutually beneficial for both of us,
Right. The
piranha
US
and the
isn't gonna come
farmers.
in here and try and take this land. They're gonna be too scared of us. It'll help you farmers. We also gotta
Exactly.
we're taking Piranha International.
International baby. We're going big. We're going big. People all over the world will fear our name. They'll shake and shiver every time they dip a toe into any body of water, wondering,
It
our
worked.
piranha here? It worked. It did work. Because I'm pretty sure growing up, I thought that like piranha were in any body of water.
Yeah,
Like,
and if
oh,
they're like
Ohio
man
River. Oh
eating,
no, don't want to fall into the licking river at rowing. We're
I
gonna get
mean,
eaten by piranha.
there's other monsters in there for
Yeah,
sure that are
blue.
way worse.
I'm more afraid of blue-green algae than I
Yeah,
am of
exactly.
piranha.
But like I absolutely also was like, oh yeah, piranha, they will eat you alive.
They will,
No
yeah, and
doubt.
they're
So
everywhere. It was like that, and quicksand is like what you have to watch out for as an
yes.
adult. I was almost certain of it back in the 90s.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yes. So that is our fun little spiel on
Wow,
real world
amazing.
piranha, which are actually awesome. I could have put more information on like specific attacks and stuff in here and all that, but nah, let's just talk about how cool piranha are and not about how actually dangerous and violent they can be. No,
I mean,
I'm gonna do a number to their PR here. Okay. No, they're actually cute, adorable little fish. You
they're
guys
gonna
have nothing to fear.
they're gonna swim from the Amazon River out to the Pacific, all the way around to the Atlantic, come through the
Come
Chesapeake
through the
Bay,
Chesapeake
find
Bay.
you.
Down, come
You're fucked.
down the Anacostia. Yeah, I am fucked. That's they're gonna like start popping out of my like bathtub or something. They're like, we will
Yeah.
find a way into your home, Alexisburg. We
Yeah.
will get
Goodbye.
you. Goodbye. This may be the last you ever hear of me.
The
This is
piranhas did it. They're gonna erase
as
this footage.
I was gonna say, this is the real piranha plot. Fuck
The
this
piranha plot
episode of
against you.
Jabberjaw. Yes. It's a larger conspiracy, and I'm in the middle of it.
Not for long.
Secret Agent Jabber, please come save me. So let's discuss the piranha, though. And this is
Yes.
obviously the megalomaniac supervillain of the underwater world in the year 2076, the villain of
Mm.
this episode. The piranha, he's a little bit different from real world piranha in the
Mm.
sense that he is a humanoid fish hybrid type being, is the best that I can describe him.
It's not a
AKA,
costume.
no, there is a costume, but he is like half fish. So he
Oh,
is,
I
he,
mean, it was only a matter of time before we got that in
I
this
know, you know,
series.
it's episode 15. At this point, they knew they weren't getting renewed. They were like, look, we've only got one more episode after this in the tank. Let's give them
In
everything
the
we've
tank.
got. But so what they gave us in this
Mm.
act of desperation,
Mm.
maybe they were like, either set us free from this ridiculous show, or please give us one more opportunity to prove that we can rock with Jabberjaw.
Okay.
What they gave us was a villain who's standing on two legs. He's probably about 6 feet tall. He's got two arms. He's got a mouth. He's got a nose, much like a human, but he's got greenish gray skin, reptile like eyes, like they're yellow eyes with the black slits
Oh,
going straight down the
yeah.
middle of them. And he's got piranha teeth. But he's only got like 10 of them, like spread out. They're like these very sharp, pointy teeth just spread out throughout
So he sounds
his
slightly
mouth.
more like a snake human with
You
piranha teeth.
You're right. Actually, and even with the teeth, so the teeth are sharp, but they're so scarce that it actually looks more like a snake. You're right. Now that you say that, but he's called the piranha. So, I
Okay.
mean, call me crazy for thinking that they were trying to make him look like a piranha.
You know
Because,
what? I am calling you crazy to make you
please,
that you thought there would be a logic,
exactly.
a
Yeah,
through line.
that's totally on me.
Yeah,
I
it
accept
is.
this. I accept this. What the fuck is wrong with me? We are four episodes. This is our fifth episode of Jabberjaw now, I think. What,
Yeah,
sixth?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
sixth episode. I'm all mixed up. I should know by now that there is
You
no
know
sense.
what?
There's
The
no logic.
piranha, he's abstract.
And he wants us to know it. He's like, I love being abstract.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, perhaps he is because so that's his appearance, but let's talk about what he's wearing. Let's talk
Oh,
about the
right.
fit. Okay, because it gets a little more avant-garde, perhaps. He's got on like a gray bodysuit with a mask that I guess maybe it's kind of like a balaclava. The mask
Okay.
covers most of his face, so you only actually see his nose and his mouth. But the
Okay.
top of the mask is like shaped for a piranha with like a
Okay.
fin at the top. Oh, and I did also forget to mention that he has like elf ears.
Which
Sorry,
neither a snake nor piranha
nor
have.
piranha
Okay.
has. Exactly.
Abstract.
But also because like the helmet or the mask bodysuit mask thing that he has like the ears like built into it to, like the ears
Oh,
like it's
okay.
all.
Great.
So
Fine.
at first I couldn't tell if it was his head or not, but then it zooms out of him and you see like he's got gray going all the way
Mm,
down on his legs and his arms, except for a very nice like green vest of armor with like a
okay.
piranha mouth emblem on it. And
Okay.
then long red gloves, of course. We love nice leather gloves. And
Accessorize.
got accessorize. And the last and final accessory, a red cape. But like not a long one. It's awkward. It only comes down like halfway down his back.
It's for
So it
function,
almost
not fashion.
it's not for fashion. Exactly. It's for function. You know how hard it is to walk in a full cape?
To swim in a full cape?
To
Uh-uh.
steer a massive ship in a full cape, it's
Uh-uh.
tough, okay? It's hard, and they don't protect you. No, we need half capes, okay? You want something to flow in the wind, but not
But not to get
that
tangled up
hard.
in your fishy snake legs.
But it's weird though, because every time I see it, I think he looks like a little he looks kind of like a toddler playing like pretend, like with a little fake cape, you know? It's so
It's just like a
little.
little like towel.
It looks like it looks more like a shawl than like a cape. Like it's so short. It's very like I can't wait for you to watch it and see because it literally like I'll be damned if it comes down like past his lats. It's literally
Oh
like
no.
so short, great. I'm like
Okay, so
trying to
it's a
show it's
coat.
like maybe here. It's not even a coat. It's like if it were a full coat, it would be a crop top, Grace. It still would like
Yes.
show his belly button.
I'm
Like
thinking like I don't know, like I don't even know what era it was, but like there was a coat at one point that was like a crop top, like shawl like thing that had like buttons on the chest in
oh.
like Regency time or something like that. But it still had a front to it. It wasn't just the
Yeah.
back. You know what? I'm not gonna, why am I questioning it?
Why are you all asking so many questions about this show?
About
We told you.
the
Grace and I
snake
told you
piranha
in the first
man
with elf ears or
with
goblin ears or
Alexis. I forgot.
something. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, I
Hmm.
rescind, strike from the record, please. The
Yes,
previous
it
three
has been
statements I
struck.
made. Great.
Yes.
Go
So,
on.
yeah. So that is the piranha. A little different from real world piranha, but close. I see the inspiration that the writers had, quite frankly. In this piranha, the piranha,
Okay, fine, go on.
he lurks deep in the crater of an underwater volcano, his
Of
lab
course.
domed off and protected from the dangers of the outside world. And he spends his days with his many henchmen and his hand, aka lead advisor, Gregor. And Gregor, by the way, just looks like an older Asian man. He is
Okay.
not. He is not half reptile, half piranha, half human, anything. He is just fully a man.
Just a dude.
Just a dude who I guess, had some evil ideas and needed a paycheck.
Don't we all?
Honestly, Gregor, same.
Gregor's the most relatable character in this whole show so far.
He is. And he's calling all the shots. He is. Like, the piranha points a finger, Gregor executes the plan. But together, obviously under the piranha's leadership and authority, of course, though, this team, they build rockets and they build all types of like surrender mists, they call it, and other random weapons of mass destruction that will aid in the piranha's ultimate plan of ruling the underwater states of America.
Oh.
And so, yes, we're bringing it home. I told you, hey, all right, we're going to do a lot of America shit talk in this episode. Okay. We started by shit talking Teddy Roosevelt. US president. I don't work for the federal government anymore. I'm a free.
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
So anyway, though, the rockets that the piranha builds in this lab, in this underwater volcano, they happen to require an exotic fuel. And unfortunately, it's kind of hard to come by. So they have to turn their heads to piracy, essentially, to try to fuel all of these rockets that they're building. Okay. And Gregor, the hand of the piranha, he has arranged for a specific tanker to be sieged and its payload stolen. And just as the oil tanker comes into range, the piranha orders a captor ship to welcome the tanker, aka kidnap and steal the tanker. And of course, can you guess what tanker this is? The tanker of the piranha's choosing.
I will say it's slightly going better than I thought, because when you first said that the Neptunes were on an oil tanker and there's a giant ship over them, I was like, oh, so they're going to explode this tanker. And that's how the Neptunes end. That they're currently probably smuggled away.
What a metal way to go. Like in an underwater explosion of an oil tanker.
Right. And again, the Neptunes, even though you said they're like passengers on this ship, Biff absolutely paid off like someone working in like the engine room to be like smuggled in to Amster Aqua on this ship. So there's no record of them being on it besides the filmmakers making this film about them.
Exactly.
And they're going to die too in a fiery, oily death right now. Yeah. So just being kidnapped, I was like, oh, okay, great.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Well, put a pin in that because this is all still just like the first, 3 to 5 minutes of the episode that this happens. So don't worry. Like there will be more danger. It gets a lot worse. So
they're gonna wish for their fiery deaths and flames.
They will
soon enough.
They may want freedom now, but oh boy, hindsight is a bitch. Let me tell you. So yes, we guessed exactly which oil tanker the piranha has set his sights on. He needs that payload so that he can fuel his own rocket. A rocket that is carrying loads of surrender mist that he will then spray over the United Underwater States of America to then take control. So essentially, we've got WMDs here, ladies and gents. Jabberjaw is dabbling into weapons of mass destruction and just mass terrorism.
I mean,
no surprise. Classic. So, Act 2.
What's it called?
Captive in the piranha's cave. So I had so much fun writing the script. So, the piranha ship pretty much opens the mouth/door, the piranha-shaped door at the front of it, and just swallows the entire oil tanker into his ship. So it just swims, a ship, a sub. It floats. I don't know what you do underwater. towards the oil tanker,
Uh-huh.
and just literally the tanker just like goes right into it, and it just closes
Great.
and swallows it. Great. So
Easy.
the ship, easy, super, super easy. Gregor knows how to do this. This is not his first rodeo.
Exactly.
The ship then takes back off to the piranha's headquarters in the center of that underwater volcano. And when the dust settles after this mass kidnapping and act of piracy goes down, the gang is able to kind of like sneak out of the oil tanker onto the deck of it and look at like, wow, where are we? Where have we been taken? And get a sense of where they are, which now is inside of the piranha's lab. And they overhear slash oversee Gregor, I don't know. Never mind. I was going to make a Game of Thrones reference. We're going to keep it moving.
Yeah, keep going.
And a few henchmen taking all of the tanker's crew prisoner and telling them that they're now being held captive by the piranha. And so the gang, they're like, oh, the piranha, this must be the weirdo who did all this. Like, we got to find that guy. He's who we need to stop. And so upon Shelley's suggestion, perhaps through her powers of suggestion, the gang decides to check around the ship to find out exactly what kind of trouble they're in, aka snoop around and figure out who is behind the heist, or like where the piranha is hiding. What?
Have the guards taken them off the ship yet, or are they sneaking off before the guards get to them?
No, so the guards, okay, like you said,
they're just like, welcome. We have like a European prison system. You get a lot of outdoor time.
It's an open air prison.
Yeah, you have nice bunks.
We give you scones in the morning. What do you want Evian water or Life water? Which one? They like have one.
Ooh, we're out of San Pellegrino this morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We only have tap, actually. Is that going to be a problem? Is that okay?
Yeah, good thing it's not like a Brazilian prison.
Oh God, no. Yeah, you're okay. We're not gonna shit on Brazil today. Anyway, so no, dang it. Wait, I was gonna say something right before you got that, and it was gonna be really funny, but oh well.
I'm sorry.
So no, so you asked a question about how they're even like out of the ship. So it goes back exactly to what you said with like they're not on not the manifest. What do you call it? Like their names are nowhere.
Yeah, it'd be like the ship's manifest.
They snuck on. Yeah, like they may have been smuggled onto this ship. So the piranha doesn't even know that they were on there. He literally thinks it was only the crew, and so the henchmen only take the crew. Yeah,
hell yeah,
like
great.
we see the crew in handcuffs being like led out by the henchmen and Gregor. And I don't know where were they hiding? I think that the Neptunes were hiding maybe in like a locker somewhere in the tanker. So the henchmen either didn't see them or they also weren't expecting to find them because they were smuggled on. Smart. And they're like kind of just peeking out of like, peeking over the deck when they hear Gregor taking everyone else prisoner. So yeah, that's why they are not captive as well.
Great.
Your theory holds up here that Biff definitely did not get them tickets.
No. Biff and Clan are both like, crime always pays off. Not crime always pays. It pays off. We did fine. We weren't captured.
Exactly. Like that was the point of all this. We're halfway to Amster Aqua and we're still alive and not prisoners. So
yeah, this is going fine.
It works for them. So yes, at this point, they're snooping around the piranha's lab and his headquarters, and they happen upon his rocket, this thing that is filled with surrender mist. And they see it currently being filled with fuel from the oil tanker that they just got off of. And at this point, they start to realize that some larger conspiracy must be afoot. And they decide to then hide somewhere in the headquarters while concocting a plan to catch the head honcho, aka the piranha.
Great.
And so just as the gang hides away in the ship's machine shop of all places, they hear an announcement coming over the ship's PA system. Like it's like the midday announcements. But it's funny, it's like the PA system and a TV, because a TV turns on near them and we just see Gregor standing there saying, "Silence, the piranha wishes to speak." And then he like gets off the screen and the piranha takes the stage.
This is like elementary school morning announcements with like the front desk or like assistant principal putting the main principal on.
Exactly. And what does the principal say? It is really cute, actually. The piranhas, he makes his announcement here. He says, our moment of victory is close at hand. The rocket is ready to launch in 20 minutes, very soon.
Wow,
And
okay.
then he says, soon it will spread my surrender mist throughout the capital of the underwater states of America. Their leaders will be helpless and forced to surrender to me. Yeah, he actually says it like that.
He's having fun.
He is. I love this guy. I think that's why I had so much fun writing the script, because the piranha's having
He's
so
having
much
fun.
He's having fun. It's contagious.
Yeah, the prisoners, they're having fun too. They're
Everyone's
getting
loving this.
outside
Yeah.
basketball time in their prison.
They're all
They
like
see him
out there
having fun.
lifting. You see them like the conveyor belt of them like fueling up the rocket. They're like dancing to like, I don't know, like Earth, Wind, and Fire or something, just like some super upbeat, fun
I'm
music
actually
is playing.
picturing the gasoline scene from Zoolander with the Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go
Jitterbug.
Go. Oh yeah,
Jitterbug. Yeah. Put
and
the
they're having
boom boom into
gasoline
my heart.
fight. Orange mocha frappuccino, and they're all dressed in those outfits, having a great. You know what? This is a fun work environment.
I like this. The piranha, he would be fun to work for. So yeah, he bringing it back to Commander Shark real quick. He used to work for Commander Shark, but he got out of there. He did not like the hostile work environment under Commander Shark.
No,
He's like,
not at
I'm going
all.
to do it differently. What's another dangerous fish that everyone fears? The
The
piranha.
piranha.
I'm gonna do things my way. And look, and now they're over there singing Wham! Wake me up before you go, go, fueling up the surrender, Mr. Rocket. Life is good. We love
Yeah,
it.
and he's like, and look what happened to Commander Shark. It all went
Exactly.
downhill.
Very quickly.
Here,
But
we're
don't
going
worry. Don't worry though. We're still only maybe halfway through.
Yeah, we're only part two.
Yes. So yes, continuing in Act 2, the gang, they decide to stop the piranha before he carries out his plot to take over the world. And again, through Shelley's suggestion, Bubbles and Biff, they are told to go get into the rocket and sabotage it by any means. The rocket carrying the weapon of mass destruction rocket,
Great.
that one, while Shelley, Clamhead, and Jabberjaw, they are going to go to the piranha's command control center and just like fuck shit up enough in there to delay the launch. Yeah, that's literally, they didn't say fuck shit up, but like that's the R-rated version of exactly what they said. Yes. So Shelley's group, they all dress up, the three of them, they dress up as janitors and they kind of just clean their way right on up to the piranha's launch control room. Okay. And in there, they quite literally start fucking shit up, just like pulling.
And no one's in there?
No one's in there. I'm trying to think. No one's in there yet. So they go in there and it's empty and they start like pushing buttons. Actually, no, you're right. Okay, I'm glad you said this. When they go up there, Gregor is outside of it and he's like, what are you guys doing going in that room? And they're like, oh, no, we're cleaning the piranha's orders. And he's like, okay, fine, go in and like be quick about it. And then he leaves. So then, yes, no one is in there, but he looks at him kind of sus. Like, I don't remember hiring no cleaners.
I don't remember hiring no shark to clean. We're a no shark kind of place. Don't let the piranha see you. He gets triggered by sharks.
Make it quick. Exactly. He had a bad experience one time. Make it quick. So, yes, while they're in there fucking shit up, pressing all sorts of buttons, Biff and Bubbles are in the rocket searching for a way to likewise fuck shit up in there. And so Bubbles, bless her soul, actually
fucks it up.
She fucks it up in the best possible way. She offers up a suggestion. She says, maybe we should depressurize the main liquid oxygen terminals, activate the secondary fail-safe fuel surface, and zip the backup system.
What?
And Biff literally says that. Biff is absolutely stunned and floored that Bubbles, of all people, would come up with something that sounds like an actual intelligent and cogent plan. And he's like, what makes you think we should do that? And Bubbles, in an absolutely rare, damn near extinct moment of genius, says, that big sign over there that says not to do it. And the camera pans over and you see a warning sign that says, do not. And it like lists all this stuff out. Yes. And I'm like, damn, Bubbles, low-key genius. Again, the writers, this was an act of desperation. They're like, episode 15, look,
We got to give her something.
The producers are telling us that Bubbles ain't it. All right, we got to make her look smart. We got to do something
For like
maybe,
a second, but they couldn't do a full rewrite of making her actually like a literal rocket scientist. They were like, we'll make her literate.
Exactly. She can read a sign.
That's it. That's all we can do for her.
Yes, this works. And you know what? Good for her, actually, because up until this point, I questioned her ability. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. This was a big rewrite for her.
Yeah. So yes, Biff and Bubbles, they start to kick their plan into gear. And of course, as the plan requires, shit gets fucked up in there and they book it on out. Shelly, Jabber, and Clam, meanwhile, they're still fucking up shit in the launch control room. And they accidentally, in the midst of all of that, launch the weapon of mass destruction.
You know, when you're just hitting buttons willy-nilly. It might happen.
One of them. And when you hit buttons willy-nilly in a room called the launch control room that controls a rocket that is also a weapon of mass destruction, randomly pushing buttons in that launch control room may unfortunately launch the rocket, which they do.
Yeah.
So rather than pressing other buttons to try to stop this rocket, they instead just say, oops, let's get out of here.
Hi, Biff and Bubbles, I guess.
So Shelly's whole plan to stop the rocket from going off actually ends in the rocket going off.
Launched it sooner.
Yes. But the piranha sees them before they leave at this point. He's like, what idiot launched the rocket? I said 20 minutes. Not now. Exactly. But he sees them booking it out of the launch control room before they can get too far. And so he sounds the alarm, sending the Neptunes, all of them, into high alert and alerting them to get the fuck out of there and make their way to Amster Aqua.
Okay.
And just to quickly state how ridiculous, like when you watch this episode, they like literally cram into this tiny little ship that I assume they're stealing from the piranha. Jabber is squished in.
As always.
And he just looks so funny, like his whole face just like
smushed. Which, like, again, like, Jabberjaw can
facial features are just like,
but never does in the Aqua cars.
No, he always just stays the same size. And he's like towering over this thing before he gets in, but it's just the way that the animators decided to like visually smush him.
Amazing. Also, are Biff and Bubbles in the car?
Yeah, they're all in there. So when the alarm went off, they
jumped out of the ship or the rocket.
Jumped out of the rocket. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. They somehow ran out in time and everyone convenes back at the stolen car. Yes, exactly. Okay. So they book it all out of there. And the piranha, he sees them leave and escape, and he says that the rocket needs to be immediately located, and the saboteurs, again, he's very abstract. Fun. He is. He likes this word. He uses saboteurs at least like 2 or 3 times during this episode.
I love him.
I do. He's
I'm
so
not mad
dramatic,
at him yet.
But not too dramatic with the cape.
Yeah, it's not obnoxiously dramatic.
Exactly. But he says that they must immediately be found and captured so that he can torture them, essentially. Act 3, or part 3. Locating the piranha's weapons of mass destruction.
Follow the giant fucking rocket in the sky.
Yes. Oh, there it is. Drive faster. We're going after it.
Yeah.
So the gang, they've kind of like just given up. They're like, all right, well, glad that we got out of that situation and that like the piranha doesn't have, the rocket anymore. Like, let's not follow it though. Let's go to Amster Aqua and go to the police station.
Wipe our hands clean. We got to get
literally they go there. I think it's Jabber's idea. He's like, we got to go to the police station. And they immediately tell the lead inspector, someone named Inspector Van Uten, all about the piranha's attack. And the inspector is very, very much unpleased with Jabberjaw's very animated, we'll say, reenactment of the attack. Jabberjaw is like picking up the inspector, like
assaulting a police officer. Got
assaulting a
it.
police officer, literally, like knocking shit off of his desk, flailing everywhere, making a mess. And at one point, when Jabber stops telling the story, he looks around like, wait, where did the inspector go? And Biff is like, he's on the ceiling. And they look up and he's like holding on to a chandelier up on the ceiling, like, oh my God, please don't hurt me.
Calling for backup.
Literally, he calls his security robots into his office and they immediately throw Jabberjaw and the Neptunes onto the street out of the police station.
These crazy people who bust in here telling this wild story about a piranha.
About a piranha man who ate an oil tanker.
Yeah, and who are like, and a piranha man who's dancing.
Yeah. He's what? And there's some guy named Gregor. Like who? What are you guys
George
talking
Michael?
about?
Why are you guys talking about George Michael?
Yeah, sure. I like the jitterbug. Yes. What about it?
Get him out of here.
Someone put a boom boom into your heart. You said your soul was on fire when the loving starts.
That seems fine. What's the problem? Get out of my office.
What's going on? Please, security robots, get them. So the gang, they leave there and they're like, okay, well, I guess let's check into our hotel. They didn't believe us, so man, we still have a gig. And
also, like this whole time, there's just some weapon of mass destruction is flying through the sky,
or like randomly landed in some random farm town, and who knows
we don't
where
know.
exactly.
Okay.
We don't know. We will find out very soon, but like up until this point, yeah, they're just like, okay, well, we got this show, so like,
and we did what we could.
Be damned.
We told some authority,
and he didn't believe us. What more can we do?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's it. So yep, they check into their hotel, and hilariously, Clamhead's pretty rude about it when they get there. He's tired, like he needs to sit down.
All he wanted was Hawaii.
Yes, he's still pissed that they're in Amster Aqua. This isn't Shaggy. He doesn't care that it's Amsterdam. Okay, This is Clamhead. He wants to be on the beach. He doesn't care about weed and dispensaries and all of that shit. He's like, I wanted to go to Hawaii and I don't get it. So he gets to the front desk at the hotel and he's like, hi, we're the Neptunes. Is our room ready? Quote unquote is what he says.
He knows they have 2 more gigs on this goddamn tour and then he never has to look at a single one of these people again. He's like, if we had gone to Hawaii, we wouldn't have been kidnapped.
Truly. And he's like, if we had gone to Hawaii, I wouldn't have "Wake Me Up Before You Go" stuck in my head right now.
Goddamn head.
Yes.
I'd be listening to Jimmy Buffett.
Yes.
On the fucking beach.
A margarita, damn it.
I'd be in Margaritaville right now.
Yes. So before they get checked in, because the receptionist is probably like, fucking rude. Okay, let me take my time finding your reservations. Biff is like, wait, hold on, guys. Look at this article in the newspaper. And he opens it up and he reads that there is a man, this is like actually like front page news. It's big news here. There's a man who claimed to see a huge UFO, aka a giant rocket, land in a nearby seaweed forest the night before. And the man, Mr. Fred Kelpington, LOL, is an amateur seaweed collector and fish watcher who claims that he saw this UFO land and that it had a piranha-shaped insignia on it. Which, hilarious. The piranha like leaves the calling card. He like puts his brand on everything. He's got to let him know on everything. Imagine putting your logo on a secret weapon of mass destruction. It's like slap the United States flag on that boy, so we know exactly who to trace it back to.
How are they going to know who to surrender to?
This is true.
If it's blank, anyone can come in and say it was them.
Exactly. It's got to be, it's got to have a calling card attached to it so we know who's in charge.
These piranhas, no PR. We've established that.
Just going to say, just like I said before, these piranhas, man, they know how to send a good message to the public.
Exactly.
They know how to get it out.
Piranha PR is peak. They got
it. Piranha PR. So, yes, they continue to read this article and they realize that the authorities, they didn't believe Kelpington, who is known in the area as an eccentric character who lives on kelp berries and inhabits an abandoned watermill on the edge of town, which Is it really abandoned if he lives there? I
Yeah, we
argue,
got
I don't
questions.
know, but he still does sound eccentric nonetheless.
Okay.
So the gang decides to rent an aqua tow truck, aka a tow truck underwater, and they
Okay.
drive it out to the old water mill to ask Mr. Kelpington where exactly he saw this UFO land. And meanwhile, we see that the piranha is also getting in his daily reading of the newspaper. And he comes
Cute.
across, it is cute. He's like in his little HQ flipping through. And then he comes across the very same article about Mr. Kelpington. And he orders his crew to track down this dude, find him. And then that way they will also be able to find his rocket.
Great.
Part 4, Mr. Kelpington's abandoned windmill. I didn't want to call it abandoned, but I was like, fuck it.
But the title is better.
Exactly.
The journalist who wrote the article about it was correct. It gives it gravitas.
It does.
It gives it ambiance.
Ambiance. It makes it less abstract, actually.
Exactly. Also, I like that
It's
the
more
Neptunes
clear.
could have stayed out of it. Like Clamhead was probably like, we wiped our hands clean of this. We're going back for more.
Yeah, right. He's like, God damn it, this is not Hawaii. You guys, no one listens to me.
Yeah.
No one listens to me. Yeah, I mean, I maybe have some like larger speculation about the Neptunes, which maybe we can talk about next week at the end of or in a couple weeks at the end of my last episode.
Yeah.
I mean, like put a bow on it, but I'm starting to think like they have no issue shying away from just these mass acts of terrorism and like saving the day and whatnot. Like
I think
they're
we've mainly established that they're
superheroes.
all criminals.
They are all criminals. / are they actually like? I think they're a crime fighting gang first, moonlighting as a band. But again, we'll talk about that.
Agreed.
At the end of the last episode. We'll wrap a bow on it with some wild spec. Yeah.
I'm like not even crime fighting. I think they're all criminals moonlighting as a band.
Yeah, it's
and
almost
they accidentally solve the crimes when they're trying to actually take the weapons.
It's like to obsess over James Gunn for another week here, kind of. It's like the Suicide Squad, quite frankly, for folks who are fans of like comic books and comic book movies, where
all criminals come together.
All criminals and like villains coming together to create a super group of like people who actually stop crime or like stop super villain plots. Because like, hey, who knows how to stop a criminal better than a criminal? Boom.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. But they have to moonlight as a band so that it like gives them access to all these other places. Exactly. So yes, the abandoned windmill. They arrive at part 4. Thank you very much.
Part 4, sorry.
Part 4. We've only got one more part to go.
I've lost track.
Yes. So the gang, they arrive at Mr. Kelpington's windmill first before the piranha gets there, and they immediately swim up to his door. And this dude, kind of sadly, he's longing for some company and for someone to finally see him as normal, not as this eccentric old man who lives alone and just eats kelp berries by himself in the abandoned windmill. So Fred Kelpington, he lets them in and he happily tells them all about the UFO he saw landing. And he starts by telling them from the beginning of the story how he was, just out on a normal night watching fish when it happened. Specifically, the silver-breasted stickleback. It swam right past me. You kids ever seen a silver-breasted stickleback before? They're beautiful.
Honestly, I can't even judge him because this is just us birding.
It literally is. This is us
I'm
watching.
like, I love him.
I do love him. I was like, oh my God, wait, I want to know about this stickleback.
Yeah, wait, back up.
Please, sir, tell me. Hold on. Yeah, we'll talk about that WMD later.
Yeah, we know it's not UFO. We know it's UFO.
Exactly. But like they say WMD, and then Fred's like, wait, what? Oh, what? I thought it was a UFO. Are we in
nothing?
danger?
Yes, UFO. UFO.
Yep, UFO, that thing. But Shelley, this mean, very rude alien lady, she very rudely cuts off Fred. Like, yeah, that's enough about the sticklebacks. Tell us about the UFO. So freaking rude, so rude. But again, at the same time, they kind of are on a time crunch here. They ask him to get to the point. Time's running out. And she does have a planet to conquer that the piranha is getting in her way of. So
or she could use this rocket herself.
Oh, exactly. She's like, wait a minute. Now I can send this. This is good recon, actually, that I can
Yeah,
send
I
back
could
to my
just
alien
take
race.
this.
Exactly. And so Fred says that suddenly, in the middle of him watching the stickleback, the ground was covered in shadow, and overhead, a huge shiny UFO landed right in front of him. And then he tells the kids that he'll then draw them a map of where to find the location so that they can just leave and go there themselves.
Mm.
And just as Fred is walking through this makeshift map that he's drawn together, the gang looks out of a nearby window and they see the piranha's ship approaching the windmill. And Fred then tells them to quickly get up to the attic to hide. And Jabber, as he's running up there, he then last minute grabs Fred and brings him up into the attic with them.
Okay.
And so in a last minute effort, Jabber comes up with a plan.
Okay, great.
A plan so genius. Okay. Only the greatest secret agents. This is Jason Bourne level stuff. Okay. Only the greatest
Something's
secret
stirring
agent
in him again.
up. Exactly.
When he's in a corner, when the pressure is high, just like the piranhas.
Back against the wall.
That's when he acts.
The water level is getting low. Anxiety is raising. Food scarcity.
Yes. The trigger happens.
He decides to switch Fred's clothes onto Shelley. And Fred is just left in his long, exactly. And Fred's just in his long johns. So then they throw Fred into a closet. Shelley is now wearing this long trench coat and this lighthouse keeper's hat type style thing. She still has her hair down and everything. They're it's clearly Shelley just wearing this guy's clothes. In this way, the idea is that the piranha and his henchmen are going to think that Shelley is Fred.
Great.
So when the henchmen come running up into the attic looking for Fred, Jabber, he plays the part. He's holding Shelley in Fred's clothing. And he's no, you're not going to get him. And he literally yeets Shelley.
That's why he chose Shelley.
Exactly. He's oh yeah, I can throw her. I don't want to throw this old man. But I don't give a fuck about Shelley. I throw her all the time. Yeah, but exactly. He throws her and Biff actually catches her. Perfectly catches her in his arms and then runs out of the windmill. And so this way though, again, they're playing into it. The henchmen are oh, that must be Fred. They're throwing him to get away from us, blah, 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 whatever. And so the Neptunes and Jabberjaw, they climb out onto the roof of this windmill and they put on their aqua helmets and gear and they decide to jump off the top of the windmill and swim back to their tow truck to get out of there.
And sorry, everyone needs Fred because Fred is the one who knows where this is.
Exactly. He knows where it is.
But there's no GPS device on this.
There's no, in the year 2076. No, there is not.
Okay, I get that.
That's why they needed 20 more minutes. Grace, that was the last thing.
They had to put the just Apple tag on it.
Exactly, the air tag. They needed to air tag it. The piranha was going through all of his drawers and stuff in his office looking for it. Give me 20 more minutes. We'll be ready in 20 minutes. I promise. Gregor's panicking, trying to get everyone to calm down.
I'm imagining that the junk drawer that the piranha has for some reason has a lot of glitter in it. He's having a lot of fun all the time.
There's fun sunglasses and stuff in there. The little kazoos, the party kazoos.
Yeah, just fun stuff all the time.
Tossing all of this stuff behind him, looking for the air tag. There's a pile of party favors, just glitter. I don't know, colored pencils and crayons and
there's shit. Little happy birthday banners.
Yesterday was Gregor's birthday.
Yeah, a couple of disco balls, little mini ones. Fun swirly straws.
He gets distracted. He opens up a card. It starts playing "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go."
And in the background, Gregor's hurry up. I can't help but do the snap.
Everyone's getting distracted.
They pause for a dance break. And he's okay, put 20 more minutes on the clock.
And then that's when he makes his announcement. Our path to victory is near. You see the Neptunes like fucking shit up, pressing buttons and stuff while everyone else is like dancing
Wake
in this
me up
other room
before you
before you go,
go.
go. Meanwhile, the piranha throws a yo-yo out of don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Doing like a whole choreography with
Do
this
like all it's like the
yo-yo.
light up yo-yos too.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to work for the piranha. This
God,
sounds like
I
a
know.
very happy, healthy work environment.
I know. I
I
want to
bet
work
they
here.
do. I bet they do 4-day work weeks, 4 10s, you know?
I mean, if even,
And
probably 4 8s. Why? It doesn't
yeah,
need to be a
right. Why?
40-hour work week.
Exactly. The extra 2 hours are for dancing. Their dance
There is
party
a lot of
breaks.
dance rehearsal though.
Mandatory dance breaks.
Honestly, I'm a little sad that Fred Kelpington isn't going to join them because,
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't know what he's missing out on.
yeah, I think he could be happy with the piranha.
He could. He would like them. He's a
Yeah,
lonely dude. All he wants is someone to dance to wham with. You know, isn't that what we
exactly.
all want in
He could
life
use some
from an
glitter in his
employer?
life.
Yes. Then start playing Mariah Carey, glitter.
This is the other most relatable character in the whole show so far.
Fred.
Gregor and Fred Kelpington, whatever his
Yes.
last name was.
Kelpington. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so they after Jabber yeets Shelly over to Biff, they
Oh yeah.
all run out. They climb up onto the roof of this windmill. They put on their aqua helmets and their gear, and they swim off of the top of the windmill so that they can go like follow the map to the rocket, the map that Fred drew out for them.
Mm.
But on their way down from the top of the windmill, Jabber kind of gets like caught on one of the bars or like the arms or whatever of the turbine. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
And he gets caught on it and he like pulls it down. And since he's so big and heavy, it like
Oh
causes the
no.
windmill to like viciously spin while the entire gang is still on it. And
Oh
it just
God.
like forces them to like projectile, like fly off, like shoot off of the windmill.
Kind of helpful.
In a way it is. I was like, oh good, like good, it's sending them out of here, but
Yeah.
they actually land directly in front of the piranha ship.
Okay, so they let go of the projectile at the wrong time.
Yes, exactly. Like if they had waited one, like I don't know physics that well, but I'm sure if they had waited 1 millisecond or like if they had
They
done
could
it
have
a
gone towards the
millisecond earlier, it would
forest.
have landed them exactly in the right place.
Yeah, but they let go just slightly too
The
early. Okay.
trajectory was off.
Yeah,
Yes.
you hate to see it
So
happen.
you do. You hate to see it because, yeah, now that they have landed directly in front of the ship, the piranha captures them. He's literally like, this guy has a very dramatic voice, by the way, too. He's like, welcome back.
I
And then
imagine,
take
welcome
them
back,
prisoners.
Rose
Yeah.
Glitter.
Yeah. Kazoo. Yeah.
Blows the glitter in their faces.
Welcome back. Jitterbug. Jitterbug.
God, he is so fabulous. I
All of
love
his
the
henchmen
piranha.
are like dancing behind.
The prisoners are still there. They've had a chance to escape, but they're not. They're
They're
like, this
not.
absolutely beats being an oil tanker crewman.
100%. They like put on their, because I forgot to mention that obviously all of the henchmen are wearing uniforms too.
Yeah, of
They've got
course.
on like, you know, the green bodysuits with like the red vest type thing with the piranha logo on it.
Uh-huh.
All of the oil tankers are like fully wearing that now, but like they still
Exactly.
have their oil tanker hats on so we can still distinguish who is who. But
Uh-huh.
they're like, oh yeah, we're in it now. Like
Yeah.
we love this. This is
Yeah, we're
great.
actually going to say that the ship did burst into flames and that we all died on this ship.
Yeah.
No one can find us. Our employer cannot find us again. This is
They
our new
can neither
lives.
prove nor deny.
I have
Exactly.
a family at home. I'm never going to see them again. This is way
my
more
family
fun.
now. Yeah.
Yes.
My family never dances. It's lame.
Yeah, they are so boring.
So this brings us now to our final part. Part
Yes.
5, aka
Okay.
the end of Act 3.
Okay.
The piranha's prisoners foil the piranha's plot.
Ooh, what an
Isn't that
alliteration. I
Thank
think
you,
you're
yes.
inspired this episode by the piranha to be
I
just like
really-
more fabulous than usual.
I am, and I feel like I had a great week this week too. It was like, I can do anything, the piranha could do it. I can
I
too.
can do it.
I can too. We all need to be a little bit more like the piranha in our
I
day-to-day
agree.
lives.
We love it.
Leave that old abusive either job or relationship or friendship, whatever
Who's not letting
behind.
you be yourself.
Exactly. Embrace your full self. Be the piranha. Take over the world. Create a weapon of mass destruction if you want.
Let people know how dangerous you are if you wanted to be.
If you want to be, right? Like I could press this button if I wanted to.
Yeah. I
Will you
could
make
eat
me
you
press it?
alive.
I could dance and listen to Wham all day, or I could kill every single one of you. You could do
What's it
this, or
gonna
you could
be?
do that. What's it gonna be? What's your choice today?
Yeah, we love living on the edge,
We
just
do.
like actual piranha do and the
And
piranha
the
does.
piranha does daily.
He's an
So
inspiration. He's
he
going on
is.
my
I
mood board.
2024 vision board.
Yeah.
The piranha's right at the middle of it.
Uh-huh.
Nice. So yes, inside of the ship, of his massive monster ship, the piranha immediately interrogates Mr. Kelpington. I guess they took him out of the windmill too. And they ask him where the rocket is. But wait, no, that's right. I got this mixed up. Oh no. But when he pulls the hat off of Mr. Kelpington's head, he's like, "You're not Mr. Kelpington. It's Shelley." I forgot that it was still her in costume. So it actually worked. It worked on me too.
You had some glitter in your eyes and you couldn't
Sorry,
see
I
the
forgot. I
truth.
couldn't see. And yes, so he's shocked to see. And it's actually the best reveal when he rips the hat off because Shelly's like smugly grinning at him, like, "Gotcha, motherfucker."
She fucking loves it.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, yeah.
That weapon of mass destruction's mine, bitch.
Now. Bet you didn't expect to see this."
Yeah, Shelly's the one ripping it off.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, "I don't know you."
He's like, "Who are you? I just know that you're not Fred Kelpington. Who are you?"
Right. Are you his daughter? Okay, so you're still a prisoner.
Yeah. So just as the piranha realizes that he's been tricked, Bubbles then blurts out that not only will they never tell him where the rocket is, they also won't let him see their nice map that Mr. Kelpington drew for them. So the piranha then immediately says, "Oh, there's a map?" Search them and find the map. But
Great.
with quick thinking and previous experience, Jabber then decides to immediately eat the map, aka putting it in a place where no one will be able to get it.
Finally, yes, doing shark shit.
Exactly, doing shark shit, and this time doing it properly. So the piranha's then like, "All right, well, you're going to regret that you did that." And in my mind at first, I'm like, "Oh shit, the piranha's not fucking around. He's about to cut Jabber's stomach open and get that map."
Yeah, it's no longer fun.
I don't like this anymore.
He tipped over from that edge we were just talking about.
Exactly.
One day I could listen to Wham or destroy the world.
He's destroying the world.
He's choosing evil now.
Exactly. But he doesn't quite take it that far. Instead, he does take Jabber to this like different lab / operating room where Jabber is like stretched out and strapped down to a table with a bunch of X-ray devices hanging over top of him. Yeah, so it's a little bit more friendly. And the piranha, so he presses a button on his control board and he activates one of these X-ray machines, and then you can like see the map fully within Jabber's belly.
That's smart. Okay.
It is smart. And you know what? We're not going to question the technology of the year 2076. But yes, it is smart. So he then orders, the piranha then orders his henchmen to throw the prisoners into what he calls the piranha cell, which is essentially an 1800s era like submersible vessel. Like it looks like it was like created during like the Civil War or like right after the Revolutionary
War. The old school submarines.
Like the circular type things.
Yes, that are fucking terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. So he puts all of them in that and then puts that whole submersible in another tank of water that's filled with hungry piranha swimming circles around the vessel.
Okay. He's no longer fucking around.
He's not fucking around anymore. He's like, he's pissed. He's mad. Okay. He's been backed into a corner. The water level is low. There's
He
overcrowding now.
just like his
there's a few too many
namesake.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's getting
Jabber.
violent. He's getting
Yep.
violent. So at this point, when they're stuck in this piranha cell, Jabber, he comes up with another idea to get all of them out of there. Essentially, look, he's ooze. He can shapeshift. He turns himself into a jackhammer, essentially, and busts through the bottom of like the vessel, and then through the bottom of the tank as well.
Okay.
Which then gives them a clear path to freedom, absent any piranha attacks.
Also, like,
they
a
make
piranha's not going to attack a great white shark. So,
yeah,
like,
no, he is the apex predator in this situation, without a doubt.
Yeah, he was fine the whole time.
Yeah, there was never any need for concern, like whatever. So then the gang, they run out of there, they get back to their tow truck, and they head out to find the rocket before the piranha can get to it, because I think they've like memorized the map or something.
Okay.
But the evil mastermind, the piranha, he's already there, leaving the seaweed field or the kelp field, whatever, with the rocket in tow. And so at this point, though, the piranha, he sees the Neptunes approaching them, and he's shocked. And honestly, at this point, probably getting a little terrified that the gang was able to escape his piranha cell, which we just described. Like, he obviously didn't really think that through anyways, but nonetheless, he's like, oh my God, shit, these kids are serious.
Yeah, I wonder if in this moment, too, he's like, is Jabberjaw one of the creations of my old boss?
My old boss?
How did the shark human thing?
Familiar.
Yeah, get out.
Yeah, what's going on? This,
oh
my God, it's all coming back to me.
Oh, God.
We can't jitterbug our way out of this. Turn down Wham. This is serious business now.
Turn up Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
It's all coming back to me. But it's also funny when you think about what that song is really bad about.
Exactly.
When you touch me like that. Were him and Jabber secret lovers?
Yeah, when Jabberjaw was a human.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And so there's a lot of chaos going on in this ship now, right? Like the piranha, he's scared. He knows that these kids are about to foil his plot. They weren't supposed to escape from his cell, especially not that quickly. The henchmen are freaking out, and one of them accidentally, instead of like kicking the ship into high gear, he accidentally releases the rocket from the tow line that is attached to the piranha ship. God. So the rocket then drops down to the seafloor and is now up for grabs by either the Neptunes or the piranha, whoever can dive down to it first.
This is what happens when you spend too much time on dance classes and not evil villain classes.
The piranha said, turn off that music, and the person didn't know which button to press because they never have to turn off the music. Yeah. So he accidentally pressed the button to unleash the tow line. He's like, turn off the music. What do I do?
Oh God, oh God. The day the music died. Oh no.
If this show ever gets rebooted and they do it, this episode has to be a musical episode. I would just say, but it's going to be like all of these
music
popular
episode
songs
you'll accept.
Oh, absolutely. But it'll be like Weird Al versions of all of these popular songs that we've like name dropped. So it'll be like rewritten for Jabberjaw, like Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, rewritten for Jabberjaw, but like My Heart Will Go On, or no, what were we saying?
It's all coming back to me now.
To me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So like, yes, this is acceptable.
Correct.
Anyways, so the piranha, he orders his crew to chase down the Neptunes and to get rid of them before they reach the rocket and the seaweed forest. In this chase, it goes on for a while, and eventually the Neptunes just end up driving their tow truck back into the piranha's monster ship.
Of course.
So, like, I guess if you want to hide from someone, like, you go inside of it, I guess, or go inside the thing. It's the best way to avoid capture is by
capturing yourself.
Capturing yourself. So the gang, they're now inside of the ship, and they're actually outrunning henchmen and guards who are trying to chase them down, and they're outwitting them. They're actually trapping the henchmen, playing their own game, beating them at their own game. And eventually they make their way to the cockpit where the piranha is like in real time steering the ship.
Oh God, okay.
And so once they get in there, the piranha's like, holy shit, they made it past all my guards, all of my henchmen. They've infiltrated my ship. He gets up and he's like, these superhero spies are ruthless. He books it out of there, Grace. He's trying to escape. So he like jumps into an escape pod.
Oh my gosh.
And just like flees. And he's trying to get away from the Neptunes and avoid capture at this point and a hefty prison sentence for piracy and international terrorism. For sure. So Shelley at this point, now that the helm is free, she just like takes control of the steering.
I'm the captain now.
She's like, I've done this before. I know all about massive ships. I've got this. And they start chasing down the piranha in his escape pod from his massive ship. And they essentially just swallow him back up. You know, the chase goes on for a few minutes, but they swallow the piranha into his own ship. And as soon as he's in there, they tie down his escape pod and like keep it shut so that he can't go anywhere until the crew can fly them back to Amster Aqua and let the police deal with him. And that's pretty much how they defeat the piranha, you know? So they get to Amster Aqua. He's taken into custody, and Inspector Van Uten thanks the Neptunes for doing his job for him pretty much.
He's like, oh, so this was real?
Yeah, this was real. He's like, oh my God, I can't thank you guys enough. I literally did not have to lift a finger in solving this international crisis. So thank you. And yeah, once he makes no mention of any sort of pay or anything like that for saving the day, Biff is like, well, guys, I guess we're out of here. We got to get play.
Yeah, we can't lose this money on the gig. We just lost this reward money.
Like the inspector thanks them and they just kind of stand there for a second looking at him like,
and he was like, we didn't even know there was a crime happening. We just thought it was Kelpington being weird.
Yeah, exactly. So
there's no reward.
Bye, thanks. And Biff's like, oh. Okay, guys, well, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go get paid for this other gig. Like, damn, Biff really actually didn't even want to perform. He was really hoping they would get paid for this. They're like, well, damn, we got bills to pay. So, like, bye, Inspector.
Yeah, see ya.
But hilariously, and this is the last line and the last scene / shot of the episode, this gig is very interesting because they're playing this song that sounds like it could be like Chicago or something like that. It's actually one of the songs that was in my earlier episodes that's like, so good and a very just like funky song. Like it's
like early 70s.
Yeah. But like the camera pans out to the crowd and it's a bunch of like lederhosen wearing like
because they're in Amsterdam.
Yeah, like or like Dutch looking country folk, like all wearing like the green like overall things and like the clogging shoes, just like politely sitting in this domed arena.
Oh my God, they
like,
hate the music.
They're like gently smiling and like tapping along, but like the Chicago type song is playing. I mean, they all applaud and stuff at the end though, and like yes, polite. That is the end. Exactly. They're polite. And that is the end.
Wow. That was incredible.
It was something.
I cannot wait to watch this. I'm really hoping that in reality, the inspector, like the second that they all leave, just like looks towards like Kelpington and is like, or not Kelpington, the piranha.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, the Neptunes already went in there spewing this crazy story and then randomly arrive with like a roughed up looking man and then just drop him off and leave. I hope the inspector is like, sir, are you okay? Like, we've dealt with these people before. I'm sorry if they've like assaulted you. You're free to go. Because they didn't bring any evidence in, such as a ship, a weapon of mass destruction. They just brought in a single man
as in his like car.
Yeah. So I'm hoping
like not a crime to wear a costume, you know, just because this guy has on a mask and a cape doesn't make him a supervillain. You need being something
fabulous
more.
Is not a crime. So I hope the inspector lets him go.
Yeah.
Because again, at this point, they didn't bring any evidence in, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I really like the piranha that I hope he's let back out into the streets. I'm okay with his weapon of mass destruction.
Too. And you know what? It just struck me. Well, no. Okay, shit, that's right. There was piracy and theft when he stole the oil tanker.
But who reported it?
Exactly.
For all I know, it exploded.
Is that oil, is that company that, has the tanker, are they pressing charges? Like, I don't know.
But do they know who to
Because
press charges against?
here's the thing. I'm not sure. Other than that, the piranha actually did nothing wrong in this episode.
It was
He
international waters.
he did the same thing that every Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Halliburton, even Microsoft in some ways, they all make weapons of mass destruction every single day. And I don't see any of them being arrested for it. But yeah, the piracy thing is unfortunately
But again,
not helping his case, the piranha's case. But other than that, like,
but here's the thing,
he
is the
maybe had the
company pressing
intent, but
charges?
did he exactly? Are they? I don't know. I don't think so. They haven't said it.
Accidents happen
As they do. This
in
is
open water all the
insurance.
time.
Insurance will cover this. Like, in fact, the company's probably happy because insurance is going to like triple the value of the payload. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, there are no crewmen going back to say what happened.
No, they're too busy dancing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're loving life. They're living their best lives right now. So I don't know.
I think he's good now. Away scot-free.
He created a weapon of mass destruction, but he maybe had the intent to use it, but like he didn't fully start carrying out his plan. He said he needed 20 more minutes. We'll never know what would have happened in those 20 minutes. In my opinion, the Neptunes did a lot more danger here to society. They actually did launch the rocket.
Exactly.
Before it was ready to be launched. Like,
it could have been way worse
here. Yeah.
With the Neptunes at the helm. So, you know what? I'm thinking he's getting away scot-free.
I'm thinking,
and I love that for him.
Me too. The piranha is my new inspo. Style-wise, lifestyle-wise. I wonder
priority-wise.
I know, like all of it. He is the moment. This is this is our piranha moment.
Yeah, exactly.
We're embracing it. Our piranha era.
Yeah, piranha. We're entering our piranha era. Yeah. Piranha mode.
Get ready for it. Get ready for it, listeners and viewers. There's going to be a lot more piranha talk on this podcast. There's
going to be a lot more glitter. A lot more piranha talk.
A lot more Wham. A lot more George Michaels. Yeah.
As there always should be in our lives.
Yes, exactly.
Also, most of the time during this episode, I was TBH picturing the piranha also as David Bowie. Just like for your own knowledge of how I was going through this episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Ziggy Stardust style.
In a live casting in another world, or in a world where we could bring him back, yeah, I would say he would be perfect for that. No, yeah, he would be, because he's perfect for everything. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Well, incredible work.
Thank you.
So excited to watch this episode.
It's great. It's great. I will say that for my last two episodes, I actually changed the episode that I'm doing. For my next episode is going to be different from what I originally put down on the tracker. So I was choosing between 3 episodes for my last 2, and I watched the 3 of them because I knew you weren't doing the other one. And I was like, the piranha plot episode stays. This is for sure.
Now a staple.
This is so yes, because I was I got very happy watching it because his happiness is contagious. The piranha's happiness is very contagious. So
that's what the piranha era is all
about.
I
enjoyed it. Yes, exactly. We are entering our piranha era, and I cannot wait. We're gonna just start glittery. Glowing. It's glittery. It's glowing. We're new women.
We're glowing because of all the glitter highlighting our. We went to Limited too. We went to Claire's. We got the roll-on glitter.
It's everywhere.
Wow.
But yes, I can't wait until next week when you keep us going with your last episode of Jabberjaw.
When it's keeping us a go-go.
Perhaps. You're not going to leave us hanging on like a yo-yo.
I would never.
Thank you. Thank you. But until then, Grace, who should they tell about this podcast?
I think in the spirit of a classic gasoline fight, you should tell Ben Stiller.
Nice.
From Dear Zoolander. Somehow, I don't know if he has social media. He seems like someone who doesn't. So write him a letter.
Yeah, true. Write him a letter.
Snail mail it. I don't know. Find a way to get to him. Let Ben Stiller know about the show. And who else should they tell?
Well, I guess after that, you should tell Owen Wilson. Yeah, Owen Wilson. Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say Wham, but I don't think George Michaels is dead, and I don't remember who the other guy in Wham is. So
yeah, that's why I was originally gonna say that too, and then I was like, you know what? You still could get that Ouija board out.
Go back and listen to a couple of our episodes about how to do a proper seance.
Yep, exactly. Some totally Spies of Halloween episodes. So you could tell George Michael still.
Look at us having a full circle moment as we kick off our Piranha era. Grace, life is good. Life is good, man.
We're on top of the world.
We are. You can't stop us.
The world is our oyster, and we are a weapon of mass destruction. That's what the Piranha era is all about.
That was like an AI generated adage. The world is our oyster and we are the weapons of mass destruction. It makes no sense, but I'm using that so much going forward.
But it's the person who I want to be in this world. So we're doing it. We're doing it live.
Alrighty.
Be the Oppenheimer of your own life.
For I am death, the destroyer of worlds. And this world is my oyster.
And I am my weapon of mass destruction. And until next week, bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.